They tried to erase a people, but what they couldn't destroy was the fire. From the moment of invasion to the modern day, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have resisted, not just with weapons, but with words, with art, with music, with ceremony, and with truth. Resistance took many forms. In the 1930s, as the rest of Australia celebrated Australia Day, Aboriginal leaders declared a day of mourning. They marched, protested, and called out the hypocrisy of celebrating colonization while their people were suffering. In the 1960s, Indigenous stockmen and women in the Northern Territory launched the Wave Hill Walk-Off, led by Vincent Lingiari. It began as a demand for equal wages, but became a movement for land rights. When Prime Minister Gough Whitlam returned a portion of the land in 1975, he famously poured soil into Lingiari's hands and said, "This is your land." In 1967, after decades of activism, over 90% of Australians voted yes in a national referendum to include Aboriginal people in the census and allow the federal government to create laws for them, a small but historic step toward recognition. In the decades since, Indigenous voices have grown louder, more defiant, and more determined. Artists like Albert Namatjira painted country in ways that forced white Australia to see its beauty. Musicians like Yothu Yindi sang of pride and pain. Activists like Gary Foley, Pat O'Shane, and Larissa Behrendt challenged the law, the media, and the national conscience. Movements like Black Lives Matter found deep resonance in Australia, where Indigenous people are still disproportionately jailed, still dying in custody, and still waiting for accountability. And perhaps no moment captured the strength of this resistance more than the Uluru Statement from the Heart in 2017, a powerful call for a First Nations voice in Parliament, for treaty, and for truth-telling. It was an invitation, not just to change policy, but to rewrite the soul of the nation. Yet the struggle continues. Despite centuries of injustice, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples remain the spiritual heart of Australia. Their languages are being revived. Their stories are being reclaimed. Their identity, once declared extinct by colonial scientists, is stronger than ever. This is not a story of victimhood. It is a story of survival with dignity. And now, the question is no longer whether Indigenous people can rise. They already have. The real question is whether the rest of Australia is ready to listen, to reckon, and to change. In the final section, we'll confront the legacy, how colonization still shapes Australia today, and why reckoning with the past is the only way toward justice, healing, and unity.